Welcome to another edition of McReynolds Rundown. Kansas Speedway in the books, and can you believe we are halfway through the regular season? 13 down, 13 to go, and we now have 11 different winners. We're also over a third of the way through the entire 2022 season. But now we're going to jump right into this topic here, considering we just ran a mile-and-a-half track. Have the next-gen cars re-energized mile-and-a-half racetracks? Absolutely. You just look at the three that we've had this year. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Kansas Speedway this past weekend. The final lead change at all three of those races came with 10 or less laps to go. Just look at Kansas race on Sunday. We had 18 different lead changes among 10 different drivers. I've even heard the drivers say every race we've had at the intermediates this year, they have certainly been better than any of the races on those tracks last year. And you know what? We got a lot more to come in 22. I think it will only get better. Well, I think our next topic is a great topic. Is Kurt Busch a future Hall of Famer and or one of the most underrated drivers of all time? I think that's kind of a safe statement. No doubt he's a Hall of Famer. Think about it. 2004 Cup Series champion. He's won 34 races. This is his 22nd year in the Cup Series, and he has won 19 of those 22 seasons. Think about this. Everywhere he goes, Kurt Busch makes that operation a better operation. We're seeing the same thing at 2311. He has won for almost every team he's driven for, 5 different operations. He's also won in 4 different makes. Yeah, he doesn't go out there and win those 5, 6, 7 races a year, but he just hits the ball right down the middle, winning 1 or 2 races a year, and I don't think he's done yet. Well, I think this next topic, they're standing around the water cooler talking about it a lot after the race at Kansas Speedway. And it is, what changes should NASCAR look into with the tire and wheel problems with the next-gen car? I think most notably that right rear single wheel lock on the number 43 Petty GMS car with Eric Jones, who had a great run going. I reached out to crew chief Dave Ellens, and I was so impressed with what he shared with me. He says, I want to share it with you, Larry, because I don't want people condemning the single wheel lock. He said, when we changed right side tires only at lap 64, the rear tire changer revved the air gun up before he engaged it on the lug nut. That revs up the RPM and over tightens the lug nut. When we went to change all 4 tires at the end of stage 1, we couldn't get it off. Our hopes heat would loosen it up. Unfortunately, it didn't. That's why we had to cut it off. He said, it's not a problem with the single wheel lock. We just made a mistake. Well, here's a great fan question. It comes from Mav Nelson in Texas. Larry, I love the show. I'm 13 years old from Texas, looking to become a crew chief one day. How can I become one? Well, Mav, I want to be able to give you as much advice as I can because I know how bad I wanted to get into NASCAR and become a crew chief many years ago. The biggest difference today, Mav, get you an education. Maybe think about engineering when you get to college. But once you get a little older, go out there and try to help any kind of a race crew that you can. Maybe at the local short track. Put as much resume together as you can and then get that education, Mav. So, we're finished up with Kansas Speedway this past weekend. Now we're going to have some fun this weekend. The All-Star Race at Texas Motor Speedway. And it's great that we go out there and it's a race, it's a trophy, it's a victory lane, and it's $1 million to win. But we don't have to worry about points. We don't have to worry about playoff points. We don't have to worry about a good solid day. It's all about winning. I speak from experience by winning it back-to-back in 1991 and 1992, and that was all it about, and it only paid $200,000 back then. Think about Kyle Larson, who won it last year. I don't know who ran second. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. We're going to have fun, but it'll be some great racing on that mile-and-a-half track. Our 4th race at a mile-and-a-half track with the next-gen car. Submit your questions to @NASCAR on Fox on Twitter. Use hashtag McReynolds Rundown. 1 week from today, we'll be back with the McReynolds Rundown, and we'll break down who won that $1 million in the Lone Star State.
Hey race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox news, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.